Hey everybody, welcome back to Wesley the Writer. I'm Wesley, and today we're going to talk about the order of my day. We're going to talk about how I structure my day and how I use everything that I'm talking about as far as with my mind, get my mind right in order to do what I do with the podcast, with the books, with taking care of my family, with work. And so, yeah. All right. So, in order to really drive the point home, I feel as though it needs to be understood that when I talk about how I do things, the first thing that I need to really explain is time management. Again, yes, I had a whole podcast on it a while ago, but understanding the importance of time management really helps you gain a better footing when it comes to doing things. So, when I think about how I've been, say, going about this process with the podcast, I keep coming across the thought that at any moment this could change, and so I have to be able to pivot. And so what I do is I make sure that I understand it takes about 4 hours, right, to get an entire week's worth of content finished and, just in the recording session. After that, I have to take it to an editing session, which takes about another 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, just to make sure that I can get everything together. And then posting it isn't really the issue because I can use Podbean service in order to release it on time. So that's not really a headache that I have, but it comes down to the wire when you're talking about writing, also like writing the chapters out and then like making sure that they're finished every week. And so you need to dedicate about, I would say, eh, about 12 hours for that. I give myself 12 hours. It doesn't necessarily take 12 hours, but I definitely do it. So, how do I do that? Take care of my family and go to work. All right. So, I work at night. I work overnight most times. So, I end up getting off work normally around like 2 o'clock in the morning. When I get off at 2 o'clock in the morning, I know I need 8 hours of sleep, so I'll end up going to bed, waking up around like 9, 10, depending on if I have a good night or not. Um, that's not 8 hours, yes, I know, but I kind of shift it around that time frame. And then I give myself a time block between 10 o'clock and was it 2 to get my stuff done. Wait, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Yeah, I like up to 2 o'clock or so. And after that, I have to take the kids outside, because they got to get their exercise. And then after that, I have little moments for myself, or if I need to spend some time with my wife to have a conversation, and we'll do that before work. I go to work at around like 7 o'clock. And so I run that thoroughly as much as possible in my head every single day. And guess what? It does not work out every single day, like at all for the most part. I end up oversleeping some days. Some days the kids might be sick, and so I can't take them out. Tamara might be upset with me, and so we're not really spending as much time as possible. I might be in my own little feelings because something happened at work. Whatever. Life happens, okay? And so that's why I prioritize what's important after I do that. And so, what do I mean by prioritization? Well, I know that I want to get this done, right? So, I prioritize this over taking the kids outside and over taking Tamara or doing something with Tamara. She might have her appointments or whatever. And so that's okay though for me because, well, you know, I'm not saying that my podcast is more important than my children or my wife, but what I'm saying is that this gets put out first because this is something that I wanted to do as a career choice, and it's a good hobby of mine that I really enjoy. And I am taking care of myself first in this situation, And then after that, I give my time to my family, because I do feel that it's important to take care of yourself so that you're mentally straight, and then you can take care of everybody else. Now, with that said, yes, that does seem a little messed up to prioritize work over children and your wife. But, you know, if I don't do this for me, I feel miserable. And if I'm miserable, I'm not enjoying my time. And if I'm not enjoying my time, I'm not really enjoying my family as much as I want to enjoy my family. So I give myself my time. Um, and, I have to make sure, though, that I give my wife and my children their time, because if I don't, then, it all gets messed up. Everybody feels upset, and it doesn't really work. When those days mess up and things go wrong, I still do my podcast, though, because again, it's something that is a passion of mine and something that I would like to see grow. Everything else, though, I make sure, because I do have time other outside of this also before work, that I like to use to play like video games and chill and do all that other stuff. But if I'm missing my time frames, I try not to do that. I instead try to spend more time with the family, as often as possible, so that they're not feeling left out. So I might sacrifice my chill time, my game time, whatever else, just to give them the attention that they need as well. But I don't shun my thing, because I know that my thing is important. Just like I don't shun my wife's thing or my kids' thing, because that's important too. But at the end of the day, we have to realize that we are still people, and we all have our things that we need to do. And I've been blessed to have that, because I set aside time in order to do that. Now let's talking about also like with study, like with Bible study and all of that. I On Wednesdays we have Bible study at the church, and so I make sure that I'm attentive to that. And that allows me to get the word in as much as possible throughout my day, or throughout my week rather, to understand what I've read throughout the week. I do spend time reading the word also. I would actually say that reading the word, or like using your phone at night to listen to Bible scriptures, really allows you to keep up with the conversations. But it kind of sucks because you're working and listening at the same time. And so it's hard to really do note taking whenever you're just listening to the word while you're working or something. So you kind of got to have these moments where you sit down and you might like if something really hits, like really write it out. I think that really helps condense the work to learn more about the word, um, by just listening to it while you're, say, working or doing something else. That becomes difficult when you have jobs that don't allow you to do that. And I understand that, but you have to make way for God first anyway, before work or yourself anyway. So it all depends on what it is that you prioritize in your life. For me, I prioritize God and my family and what I love doing. And so I have to put those things into perspective whenever I'm going about my day. Everything else around that, though, cooking, eating, sleeping, all that other stuff, that just fits. But you have to make time for it nonetheless, because it's all important. I mean, come on, let's face it. You're going to make time to eat. You're not just going to not eat unless you're, kind of messed up in the head or something. Sorry, but it is what it is. You're going to eat. Um, but as far as sleep is concerned, a lot of people kind of shun sleep. Don't don't skimp out on your sleep. Make sure that you're sleeping. I make sure that I get 8 hours. At least I should say my body makes sure that I get 8 hours. I cannot wake up unless I get sleep. Some good amount of sleep. I am out unless I get that. And that's, I feel like that's okay. But I have to plan my life around me sleeping. It feels like, because I'm going to get my sleep. Um, and then yeah, like whenever I wake up, just get myself together, make sure I do my prayer, and then get out here and get to work. Um, so in conclusion, really just prioritizing your time to get your thing done is just it. That's the key, and that's what I've done. That's how I structure my life. And as far as my mentality, I it allows me to keep my mind clear. Whenever I'm really just doing my thing, I can keep my mind clear. I'm not focused on why this didn't get done. I'm not focused on the issues of like, oh, I didn't finish my podcast today or whatever. And sometimes, yeah, some days things don't work out the way that they're supposed to work out. I might miss a deadline or something, but as long as I keep going, it's okay. It's all about the consistency of your thing and doing it. And that's what really pushes you forward to really get it done. Like to really stop talking about your thing and do your thing. Make time for your thing. 4 hours is a good amount of time to get your thing done. Fit that in with whatever else you got going on and just refocus your life around what's required, what's going to allow you to grow, and you'll be okay. So that's my hot take. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Be sure to hit me up on Twitter at the writer Wesley. I definitely would like to continue the conversation up there. So if you already are subscribed to me, leave me a comment. Let's chat, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Later.